Audio check.
Check, baby. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Welcome, Smithsonians. We got the Dr. White again.
All right, I'm here.
Yep, we got our book.
How's everybody out there?
Yep, thanks for the 2 million views. Yeah, we'll keep moving. The followers, like you want to know about our history, like so we're gonna talk about it. But before that, let's check in. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. It's a nice day today. I went out and kind of celebrated with one of my great grandchildren. He just turned 14 today.
Okay.
And they were over at that plaza or that place on the east side, the new big restaurant, whatever they call that.
Okay.
Interesting place, a very, very interesting place, a very diverse place. I really like going there. It seems to be some very good energy of people, coming in and out, people speaking, and just nice. And he's a very brilliant young man for 14. I mean, really, really, well, everyone would say that their children and great grandchildren are brilliant, but he does have this edge, and
where he got it from.
I can't imagine. Can't imagine, man. I'm glad he has it though, but we have to balance it, temper it. So.
Okay.
That's the part now. So great, everything is good.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the not middle of the year, but still first quarter of the year, and it's still cold.
Yes, yes.
It's hot and it's cold. It's like one day it's cold, next day it's hot. So
it traps you.
yes.
It tricks you. Because today I didn't put but I had a jacket in my car.
Okay.
But I said if I need it, then I can throw it on. But I wasn't out long. I dashed from the car into the restaurant. So it was good. It's good. Okay. But the sun is great.
All right.
The sun is just beautiful.
Sweet. So again, we're here in Columbus, Ohio. We love in-person interviews, podcasts, and pretty soon we'll open up the live. But we need your feedback. We need your suggestions. Like, should we go live? What time should we go live? We're Eastern time. So what time should we go live Eastern time is the question.
That's right, to get the people a good rich mix. Mm.
Yeah, because our audience is primarily right now New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, but Columbus is way at the bottom. Like, wow.
Yep.
So we have to adjust our time to reach.
That's right, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. So I think we talked about it a little bit, family. So I'm a single guy.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about how to cope. Like, we've been through so much, and I'm taking generational things. Mm-hmm. And let's say it's a perfect world. Like, how do you find a relationship? Like, what is needed in a relationship? So we're going to start with that. Like,
that's a really, really good and really powerful question. I was, when I was outside coming in, I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about some entertainers and the relationships that those entertainers had.
Talk about that. Yes, that's major.
How they come about. They were talking about one particular couple, and how the guy being in relationship to the lady, they were singers, how it really, really hit him and really penetrated him. And it didn't go really well. And I would imagine, being an entertainer, I would wonder how anything could go well. You're constantly gone. You're constantly in front of a lot of people. And when you're in front of a lot of people, especially as an entertainer, you have all these admirers, and whether you're male or female, they all love you. I remember as a kid back in, I can't even think back when it was. I was probably like 16 years old. Jackie Wilson was in Youngstown. And I remember Jackie Wilson was a great singer, man. Okay. Jackie Wilson used to rock the house when he did it, and everyone was dancing and the women would scream and shout and holler, And so we were at this particular location, and he was doing his dance and singing, and he came off the stage and sat down on the stage. Okay. And as he sat down on the stage, he took off his tie and threw that out in the audience. He had his jacket and threw that out, and the women were just screaming. They were going crazy. But what they were crazy about was probably that image of who he was, which they see as someone probably being sound, and they probably listen to the music that they're singing and fall in love with the music itself. Okay. But not really knowing who the person is. Mm-hmm. So I think the whole piece around a relationship what I would share and what I have shared with my grandchildren and other younger people, it starts with you. I know I cannot have a quality relationship if I don't understand me. I have to understand me, what I do, why I do things, what things are important to me. What are my hot buttons? Or what are those things that just kind of get me or tick me off? And then once I find out that there are things that really tick me off, I need to find out what is it about me that causes me to react to that kind of stimulus. And those are things I ask myself right now. When something happens and I have either a knee-jerk reaction or a negative experience with someone or uncomfortable experience with someone, I ask myself, what is it about you, James A. White, that allowed you to react that way to that stimulus? Okay. And I don't know about the other person, and I can't control them, but I can control me. And so I wanted to know what is it that causes that trigger? Because I don't want to carry triggers. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to have uncomfortable situations.
Give an example of a trigger.
Trigger would be maybe in a relationship if the way someone says, well, where you been? Or how you doing that? And they say that in maybe a curt voice, or you may think about them, what are they trying to say? Are they trying to say that they don't trust me or that I did something wrong? And rather than me saying to that person, well, I don't understand exactly what it was you were saying, so can we talk about that? The reaction is, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? You trying to say? So I react. Okay. And I don't want to react to things. What I want to be able to do as a person in any kind of interaction, I want to be able to say, if I'm uncomfortable with something, I can even say to that individual, what you said made me feel somewhat uncomfortable. And I think before we move on this, any further on this, we need to sit down and talk about it. Now, I don't know how that other person is going to react on the other side, but what I'm saying, I need to control Jim White. They can't control me. And if I reacted to it, well, it was their fault. No, it wasn't their fault. It was my fault that I reacted the way I did to that individual, regardless to what they said. And so those are the things I think that are critical for being in a relationship. And what if both parties felt that way? I mean, wow, they're able to build from there, because I'm going to have some things that they don't have, and they're going to have some things that I don't have. And if we could slow it down and talk, then we can move forward. Yes.
So how can we do that? You said I have to worry about myself. Mm-hmm. So my connection with God, I'm saying that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
And once I get connection with God, like, I'm not complete though. So I have to find the other person. So how do I know when I'm complete?
But here's what I find. I find if you're connected, if you have that relationship with God and you're really using your Bible. One thing about the Bible has stories for everything in the world that can happen. It has things for your principles and how you should live and what you should do. So if I'm really, really connected with the Bible, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to read that information. It may not be my gospel, but that's my base.
Man, gospel.
Yeah, so
I like that.
So that gives me the base, though. It gives me the base to where I want to start from. And nowhere in the Bible, well, I guess it does say a lot of things, but when they talk about people in relationships, they talk about people being able to get along and ask questions and share with each other and not be angry and nasty towards each other. And, there's a set of Bible principles. Now, this is another thing. You have the 10 Commandments as a set of principles. But what you really want to do, if you look in the Maat principles, where they talk about, Maat is a Egyptian spiritual base. And the Maat, M-A-A-T, and the Maat base says that I should be able to live in a space with other people, and there's no need for us to have issues and have problems. I'll use an example. Let's say there's some soil or some earth out there, and we plant gardens or what have you. Well, in the garden, there's all kinds of vegetables. And the trees are out there. So I go and get what I need for not my nourishment, but I don't take all of it. I leave the rest of it open, and wherever, when I take something, I want to replenish it with something else. And so the other people who have that same kind of a mindset would do the same. So they would take something and they would replenish, and they would take something, they would. So you never run out of anything, but there's always enough for everyone. And if there's a problem, rather than me blaming this person or blaming that person, we come together to say, okay, what is it that we can do to replenish this and make sure that we don't come out? And so under those principles, what they're saying is that that's the way we should live. And instead of them having 10 commandments, they have 42 principles. And their 42 principles, if you look at their 42 principles, what you'll find is that the 10 commandments that we have today came from, almost word for word, from those 42 principles. And the 10 commandments speaks to honor thy father and thy mother, and I will not do this. And the Maat principle says, I did not do this. I did not steal. I did not cover my neighbor's wife. I did not. So it's not talking about, should I? It's saying that I have not done that. And the reason why I think those principles are so powerful, because it gives you a set of principles that you can follow for your life. And anyone can pull those up. If you go online, the 42 principles out there, the Maat principles, they're there. So if someone needs a place to start, that would be a good place. If I'm going to be in relationship with a lady, and however your relationship is, lady, man, male, female, that's your thing. But what I'm saying is, whoever that partner is that you're going to be in relationship with, if they're working on themselves and you're working on yourself, man, that's a good base. That's a good solid piece. And then when there's a clash, you say, okay, how do we resolve this? Well, I could go to my mama, I could go to my grandpa, but they may be just as jaded as I am, right? So let's go back to the principles. Okay. And let's see if there's anything in those principles that will allow us to be able to resolve this challenge, this clinch, this place that we find ourselves in. Okay. So there's something that you both wrap your arms around. That's why, I don't want to cut you off, but that's why I truly believe that if I'm going to be in serious relationship with someone, we need to go to counseling. Okay. And that's what those counselors are for. My daughter, my son-in-law, they do relationship and marriage counseling. And all they do, and all that means is that the people come together, they ask questions, they look at what they want. What do you want for your life? So what is our mission? What is our vision? What are our goals? And they say, how do we then take these things that you want and we bring them together so that both, and one, I'll give you one that's really, really tough. When he tells everybody that your cell phone is your mate's cell phone. so
hey, we left the garden to cell phones.
That's right. So at any point in time, man, it's like, oh no, I ain't gonna give her my cell phone, man. And vice versa. And when it rings, if people hide their phone, who was that? Those kind of things. But you work that out. Okay. And if you're working together, then it's going to be okay for you to know who I interact with and why I interact with that person. It may be something very innocent. It could be that they like science and I like science. You don't like science. It could be any of those things. So anyway, so that's the start.
Yes. So you talk about the garden, the soil. I'm just going to throw out throw things I'm hearing.
Right.
It's like a flower. You don't pick a flower, but you want to nurture it.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
You want to admire it.
Nurture each other, but like, what if one is a tree and one is a flower? So I'm just throwing some things out there.
Yeah. If one is a tree and one is a flower, then what they want to do is to evaluate what is it about the tree that I like and admire, and what is it about the flower that I like and admire. And can we, being so unique and so different, and what I do, I teach diversity. And I teach there's nothing wrong with difference. If I, as a flower, can understand what trees go through, and the tree can understand what I go through, then I have so much more knowledge now than I did before, or than I did if I would have been a flower to flower or a tree to tree. Okay. But do I want to accept that? Because a tree is not going to be a flower, and a flower is not going to be a tree. So if my thing is I'm trying to change them, get away from the change in the other person. That person is who they are. Now, if they want to change, if they want to adapt, yes, But I cannot. And I find that women will probably work harder at changing the guys than vice versa. You know, they see a guy, he's nice, and da 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 da, and she'll try to change him. What guys do, a guy will have 3, 4, 5 girlfriends that he's dealing with. And then they'll look at, out of the 5, which one do I like best? Which one do I feel? And that's connected. Where the women tend not to do that. Women tend to look at the guy and say, well, he has those characteristics in him that I like, but there's some other ones that are really, really, really kind of ugly, but I'm going to work on them and we're going to see if we can change that. It's not about somebody else changing. It's about that individual deciding that I want to be a part of you and I'm going to respect you and I'm going to respect those things that you need. And if I have them, great. If I don't have them, I'll let you know. I hear you, but that's not where I am. That's not a part of who I am. I don't know how I can do that, and then comes the work. Then comes the work from there.
Okay. So I'll keep it one more personal thing,
okay,
like personal development.
Yeah, go.
I'll reach the community that
anywhere you want to
ethics. Go. Okay. So what about the systemic issues that are keeping us from cooperating? Like it's programmed, is built, the welfare system. Like, so how do we fight against that? Like, what is the true definition of relationship? So,
okay, you said the welfare system.
So let's talk
about. Then you said the relationship. Right. So you mean,
as in systemically, it's always proven that there's things to break us apart. So right now it's social media.
Yes.
One is always bashing one another.
Right.
But before that, it's separation of family. Man's not being in the house.
They took the man out of the house.
Yeah.
And that was intentional.
Right.
Because what they know, when the man's out of the house, you don't have family.
Right.
And it creates problems. And the man's lost. But that comes from slavery. We can talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk. That's what I want to go to, like, because it's a buildup. It's like it's like different periods of. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's a solution, but there's always a detour. There's always something ahead of us.
I think what has to happen, if we do with the relationship piece with the male and the female, or the black man, they don't want a family, this, that, and the other. I think we got to go to understanding why why is it that 70% of our babies born are born into a single parent family, and the person who runs that family is the mother, and the dad's not there. Well, if you go back to slavery, when they brought us over and they enslaved us, one of the things they did not want to do, they did not want family unity. They wanted workers. And they did not want pushback, and they did not want challenge. So they took the man out of the house. The male could not father or parent their child. And if you did, there were consequences. The mother had to teach her boy how not to parent his children when he grew up. And a part of that was take the man away and send him to another plantation, those kind of things. Or bring in the big dude like you over to the other plantation. You make all the babies, right? But you don't stay there. You go back to the plantation. And so those babies for them were just like cattle. Those are some more workers. So it started back then. So when you look at that for 250 years, that was the model. That was the model. And then now today, what do we see? I believe in epigenetics, and that is that you've done something so long, even it may not be in your I'm not a scientist, but in your core genetic makeup, but you've learned something over the years, and so you continue to do that. And then so what they did, with the welfare piece, when we weren't able to get jobs, they said, okay, we'll give you a job, but here's what we're going to do. You can't have a man in the house. We're going to give you money, we're going to give you housing, but you can't have the man in the house. Now, why would you want to say we're going to help you and expect you to get out of that dilemma that you're in, but the man can't come in and be a part of what you're doing? And if you made over a certain amount of money, then we would snatch our money away from you, and then you're out there struggling.
Let's talk about that. So, just that piece, so women can't have a man in the house, but now women are making more money. They're owning more housing.
Mm-hmm. They have the house.
Right.
They have they have the food.
Do they want?
They have the utilities.
Yeah.
So the woman I can make it without you. I don't need you.
Yeah.
And that was the rap. Well, the guy would pop in there, do what he does. They have their little baby, but boom, he had to leave. if the caseworker came by, you couldn't be in the house, and they used to be really, really, really strict on that. And so consequently, they created a system that really destroyed the family, destroyed family connections. They could have done the same thing and put the whole family together and then say, when you make X number of dollars between the two of you, then what we'll do, we'll gradually pull that money away. You know, I was working one time with a young lady. We worked with a program here in Columbus, and she had 2 or 3 boys, and she wanted to get into our program. She loved accounting, and at that time there was a place called, it was Central State, but it was called Columbus Technical Institute, I think it was. And so she wanted to get in the program. We had her all signed up, and she was all ready to go. And we called. She said, "No, I can't get in. I can't get in the program. I'm just backing out." I said, "Well, why? What happened? What went on?" She found out, or they found out, she was 83 cents above the mark or the point that she needed to be in to be able to be in the program and still get her food stamps and get medical care for the boys. She said, "I can't leave that, and I don't have any medical coverage." 83 cents. So at the time, we had some people, they went down, they straightened out the 83 cents piece. I don't know exactly how they did it. And now, here you go. So,
connection. So you need to communicate.
Yeah, now here's what happened. Probably 10 years after that, I was doing training down at the state office tower. Someone called up, "Jim, Jim." And I looked up, I saw the young lady and thought I knew her. And she said, "Oh, it's me." I said, "Oh, how you doing? How's everything going?" Blah, 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 blah. She said, "I'm doing really good here." She said, "I work in the accounting department for the state of Ohio." And I said, "Well, how are your boys?" She said, "The boys are good. One was in school, one was getting ready to go to college, blah, 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 blah." Boom, she made it, man. She was able to go to Columbus Technical Institute, get her degree or associate's degree in accounting. And I don't know whether she did anything after that, but then she got a job with the state of Ohio where she was independent and was able to take care of herself, take care of her family, take care of her home. And I mean, it all worked out. But the 83 cents, man, come on. And why did that even have to happen? Someone could have looked at that and said, "Hey, well, she's 83. There's a range. We're going to make sure that she goes and gets that education." But that's a part of the system. You know, so those are the things that are out there. And that destroys all kinds of things. But bottom line, it continued that slave model during current times. And keep the father out. And then what happens to the father? He's out there, he's wilding, he goes make some more babies over here, make a couple babies over there, irresponsible, and it's just a total mess. I know a guy right now, who said that he has a brother, and his brother has 26 children. 26, about different mothers, all kind of mothers. Now, what kind of mindset does he have? That he wouldn't stop at some point in time and say, "I have 26 kids, I can't do a darn thing for them," or he may be doing something for one, but there's no way in the world he could be able to take care of that kind of a family, those kinds of needs. But that's what's out there, but it started way back. It didn't start just last year or 28 years ago. It started way back. And here we are today, now trying to forge healthy relationships.
So my question to you is, like, during that time while you was helping her, like, what were you in that position? Like, what were you doing? Like, you was counseling.
I'm trying to think of the name of the program. It was like something professionals. And what we were looking at people who started studying in a particular area, and they could not continue because of financial reasons or what have you. And we were looking at both males and females. And that was my job. I was to go out and find people who said, "Hey, I want to go to school. I want to go to college." Some of them went to Ohio State University. I don't know about Franklin. I don't remember Franklin, but I know that Columbus Technical Institute and Ohio State University, probably also a couple like Otterbein and Capitol University, were a part of that program. And what we did, we got those people and were able to give them enough to sustain themselves and sustain their families while they went to college to get whatever degree it was. One lady or two ladies got some PhDs, and they get them from Ohio State University. I mean, so it was a very, very powerful program. That's when all the model cities programs, and you don't know anything about that, but model cities was a big thing that was happening all over the United States.
Okay. So in the previous podcast, basically, I'm trying what you said, but my what direction I'm trying to go is, you talk about yourself. We have to be ready individually. So about the finance piece, like, yeah, we said if you're between the age of 18 to 40, there's no reason.
Oh, yes. I said today.
Okay.
If you're between the ages of 18 and 40, there's absolutely no reason why you should not be able to get what you need, to get the skills or the trade that you need to be able to take care of yourself and your family. And I say that because the civil rights movement was strong. The diversity movement was big. We were in companies, corporations, people were opening doors, and it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. But it was enough to say, if you wanted to go to school, if you wanted to get some information, if you wanted to get training, there were enough programs out there that allowed young people to be able to get to get those trainings today, rather. And so in that time period. So, if there's someone out there today who's between that age, I'm going to ask them, well, what happened? Why weren't you not able? And if you remember what Lundy said, Lundy was talking about all the programs that he went through to go to college and get a master's degree, get a PhD. But everyone wasn't doing that. But there were also trade schools out there that people were able to go to and to attend. So something happened. I don't know what could have happened to say I can't find a job, nor can I find a skill. So that's my reason. I just think a lot of doors were open during that time period. That's why I know myself, I was teaching diversity training in every kind of environment imaginable, from the corporate executive levels. I was with Xerox, doing Xerox and digital and Wang. I was a part of the first group of African American males, African American females, and white females to start working at Xerox because they didn't know whether or not we could produce in the sales arena as well as the white males. And what we showed them, that we knocked the socks off of it, man. The black men, black women, and the white women went out and sold just as strong and some much better than the white guys. And so that door was opening. And so I taught class after class after class after class for Xerox of new people coming in. And in every class that we had about 130 people that would come in every 3 weeks. And we had 10 people in our class. And every single class that I had, there were women, black and white, and black males. Plus white males too.
Yeah.
But so I know that door was open. And the reason why I say academically, man, I was not the one most likely to succeed academically, boy. Remember, I am dyslexic. Reading is a challenge for me. If someone just give me something and say, would you read this for me? I say, well, if you got a few hours, I can go ahead and read it for you. Because it's a part of my dyslexia that prevents me from just grabbing it and being able to present it. Now, if you give it to me and say, we need this tomorrow or the next day need a presentation, I'm the guy, because I can walk the house with that. But the whole thing around dyslexia, boom. So people can't say that you couldn't get in.
Okay.
So
let's talk about that. America is made for profit. So I was mentioning today earlier.
Capitalism.
It's capitalist. Like everything they're doing is to make profit.
Money.
And they need slave or indenture like people to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you mean from slavery, but current day?
Yeah, kind of like everything they're doing is to make a profit.
Right.
To keep America going. Right. That's the only way you could produce. Like what they do with the immigrants. Like there's a video. Okay. There's a video out there of a few workers working on the roof, and the lady, before they finished the job, she called the ICE to deport them so they don't make the full payment.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I've seen that happen in DR to Haitians. Like they're building their apartment complex, and before they even finish, they call deport them to make it hard again for them to come here. But yes, so many people are being exploited, even with the work, work code, work things. People are targeted in this current situation right now in America based off their race. And it's based off of profit and race. It's like the same thing again. Like money. It's continuing. Like how can we stop this?
Well, one of the things that in my training, working with the John Glenn Institute, we used to have a leadership program through John Glenn Institute, and it was for people who were state government, federal government, and city and county. And there was one guy in the classroom, a white guy, who was talking about, and they did presentations. So I really got a tremendous amount of education. And what he said at that time, he said, Ohio needs 30,000 immigrants every year to pick the crops, blah, 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 so that Ohio can do what they needed. And I think it may have even been the Columbus community, not even all of Ohio, just Columbus community. 30,000. And he said every year, X number of people, those people come over, they pick the crops, they do the this, they do the that, da-da-da-da. And then so many of them would go back. Some probably stayed, I guess, what have you. But that was probably, he told me that maybe 10, 15 years ago when he shared that kind of information. He said that's been going on forever. So I know that there's exploitation because the reason why they wanted the immigrants to come and do it because they couldn't get the young people here in the United States of America to do that kind of work because they weren't experiencing that. So there's exploitation, and that's what the exploitation piece is. And so, yes, I mean, capitalism is about dollars and cents. Capitalism is about money. Dick Gregory said many, many years ago, America needs 40 million people who spend every single penny of the money that they make to keep the capitalistic engine turning. He said, and that's the base. And then off of that base, then all the other stuff starts to happen.
That's funny, because I was thinking about that, because I'm double black, meaning I live in America, but my parents are from Haiti, and I've been to Haiti a few times. Every summer I used to go for 2 months. And I'm looking at the capitalist society, like, they can't stop, they can't pause. On islands, you could pause and you think you're creative, like you're a builder. But here in America, it's like when you die, it's like, it just...
Churning for more.
Yeah, it's like producing more and more, but like, hey, you relax, breathe, age well. But here in America, it's like, just use and be done.
And what for me, what that is, that's a mindset. You know, I stop myself and I look at my house and I look through and see what I have and everything. And what I've said to myself is like, I don't need anything else. I don't need another house. I don't need another room. I don't need, if I want to paint something, and I have to maintain the house. But some people will have a house and they get it there and they get it paid for, and the next thing they want a bigger house. You know, I can even remember my daughter saying to my son-in-law, Frank, well, let's go get a bigger house because some of my friends are old. Frank said, I have 5 more years and this house is paid for. He said, the kids are gone. It's just the 2 of us. And so they decided at that point in time that they weren't going to jump into another bigger house and start all over again with those payments. And now they're really comfortable. They have a nice house. I think it's 4 bedrooms, it's full basement, 2-car garage. They take trips, Frank's booking trips everywhere. They're going out of the country 2 or 3 times a year, staying, 2 weeks when they go out. They're traveling all over the world. So people have to determine when I'm at a point where I don't have to get in that churning and wanting for more. Because and the same with cars. When people have a car, I want another car. Why do it? It has a twinkle on it. The other one had the dot, or the other one had a beep, 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 beep.
This one got AI on it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's up to us as individuals being in a system like this to determine when is enough for us. And also put yourself in a position so you can at least get enough. Right now, I think it's really tough. When I start to look at what young people are dealing with in terms of apartments running between 1,200 and 2,000 for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. I've never seen anything like that before. So right now, I really would have to say it's a different situation because the income has not increased, in relationship to what cost of housing is. So I think that's a really, really challenging piece, and probably now 2 people working together in a healthy relationship could do that. It may be a little push, but they could do it. Now, if you have 2 people with 3 children, that's even harder. But how do you adapt? Because that's where we are right now today. That's where this system is.
Okay. So I wrote it down so I kind of move past it, but like you had the dyslexia and reading.
Yeah.
You encourage people to read. So give us some examples, like technology is an issue. So how do people read? Like how do people get the information? Like
I'll give you a quick, really good example. I was watching TV last night, and Cory Booker came on one of the news programs. And they were asking Cory, so what are you doing now, Cory? Because I wondered myself, said, what the heck are they doing? He said, I have a book out called Stand. He said, and this book is a response to all the people asking me, what can I do with the situations being what they are? He had 10 particular aspects of Stand. And so I said, well, maybe this is the movement that we have been looking for. Maybe this is the movement that we need. So what I did, I ordered the book through Amazon, but I also went on to Audible and I ordered the audio of that book. So what I do, I listen to the book. Listen to the Audible, and I read the book. Now, sometimes when I walk, I'll I'll be listening to the book. So I usually walk about an hour. So I'll pick up an hour's worth of listening. Now, when I get home, I'll go to the book and just review that chapter, because what I have found with my dyslexia, if I hear something, I go back and I review it, then I really can retain it that particular way. So I think that's what people do. There's choices that you can make. When you know these books that are out there, these readings are out there, put it on, get it on Audible. They listen to every other darn thing. They're in these phones like, if people would put as much time into listening, because they could pull these people up and actually hear, if there was much time in listening to what they're saying as opposed to, what Joe did, what Jack did, who a song person did this, and who made this song, and who made that song. That is a powerful, powerful tool. And I know that people spend probably 2, 3, 4 hours on their phones.
Yeah.
Well, what if you took 2 hours and did that for your own development? Look up the book, look up the person. Almost everybody out there that has something to say, it has they have a book. So look that person up and hear what they have to say. Because just like you just came from a conference and you videotaped your conference. Well, there are conferences out there on the tape right now that you can ask for. The other thing that I think, I think AI, in my opinion, AI is the paradigm shifter. AI will allow you, me, anyone who has any kind of basic questions or what's going on to go and pull from AI all of that information instantly.
Yep.
Instantly.
Yep, basic. So I want to guardrail with that because I've been watching, interviews with the AI input. It's kind of talking for people. So I'm conscious of it now.
Okay.
When I put stuff in AI, it's like I know what I want to say, so I make sure it says it.
Right.
Because it's telling me, oh, don't do this because of the world. I'm like, let me still post it. So use AI, but also don't. But you still need it though.
Yeah.
You need audio, but it's like you have to go out there and meet people.
Right.
It's like push information, but don't let it. Because the way I use it, so people, I encourage you to use it, because I'm an advanced user. I'm playing with it. It's my daily life now.
Right.
When you put information in, make sure that's what you want to give.
Exactly.
Like, don't let it override your thinking.
It's a tool.
Yes.
It's a tool. It's not a substitute. It's not your teacher. It's a tool like anything else. It's like a book or a piece of paper. You bring it up and you read it. Some of it may be true. All of it may be true. But you're the one who's going to determine how much of this data, this information do I really want to see it's correct. Now, let's say it gives you something that you're not comfortable with. You can then go step back to AI and say, AI, you know what? I'm not comfortable. And I've done this. AI, I'm not comfortable with this. You only gave me one perspective. I need multiple perspectives. So can you give me multiple perspectives on this piece of data? And AI went and got me those multiple perspectives.
Yes.
And then if you don't like that, go to your Encyclopedia Britannica. That's on the shelf. Or it's at the library. And then open it up and read it. So there's all kind of ways that you can double check, triple check. You can't let other things and other people dictate to you how you think. You know how you think and you know what you're looking for. So you keep asking those questions from multiple people until, who is that?
Yeah, my guy, he's coming.
Okay. From multiple people until you can get what you really want and you can get what you really need. So it's just like a car. If you don't manage a car right, the car is a weapon. Cars weigh what? 3 tons? You can drive at 100+ miles an hour. If you don't go out and use that car properly, you can kill all kinds of people and yourself. But it's designed for you to be able to use it in a way you follow the rules, the yellow line, the solid line, the lights and all that. And if you do that, there's a high probability that you're going to continue to be able to get to where you want to and back safely. Same thing with AI, same thing with books. All kinds of books out there. You can find the plus and minus of everything that you're looking for. You have to be the one who discerns this is how I want to do it. And in addition to that, there are people. There are people like you and your friends, your next door neighbors and the pastors and the professors and all. So you got to do your work. You can't just sit back and wait for something to come and fall on you and you're going to be happy from there. Well, correct.
As Dr. Eric Thomas would say, you and his book, #1 New York bestseller, You Owe You. I have a picture of it. You owe you.
You owe you. Okay.
Like you owe yourself. Like
you're right. Okay.
You.
Yeah, right.
You have to go do the
That's
research.
it. You got to go and do it.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you appreciate it. And then when you go out and there's groups of people talking and they're saying blah, 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 blah. And now you say, oh, well, wait a minute. I read that book, boom, boom, boom. Because right now, usually when I'm in my arena, people bring up books. Almost every book that they talk about, especially when I was doing diversity, I've read it. I've read the book. I've listened to the book. I've shared it. So I can participate if I want to in an intelligent way in that kind of a setting. And if not for me to tell, but for me to maybe ask a question so people can give me more information or validate some of the things that I've been thinking about myself. So you got to engage. You got to make it work. It's like, I look at even like sports. From the side, like, oh, they look good. Well, you can't do what they do unless you go out and practice the way they practice. You just can't. Like, what's the young white girl who shoots all those 3-pointers? I forget her name, but she's not, and she's not the first because sisters were doing that a long time ago, right? But she, because she practiced, and it's amazing to watch her play. Okay. Because she'll get that ball, man, she hit that spot, bam, you could take it to the bank. But I've been watching a lot of women play basketball now.
Only one I know is Angel Reese, sorry, because she went to Chicago like she's... Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah.
Angel Reese, hey, how you doing?
Okay.
You gotta meet up.
You got to check it out. Sending you a signal. But all of those folks out there, and the reason why I'm saying white, I don't want to give anyone more credit than I'm giving the others, but I want to make sure that if you give credit to one person, that people who have been doing that before that individual also gets the credit for what they're doing. So yeah, so when we started with relationships, so all this stuff that I'm talking about allows me to get to know me. Because if I don't know me, how in the heck am I going to have a good relationship with other people? I may see them for one reason, just to use them in some kind of way, as opposed to understanding that in a relationship, it's a shared piece that takes place.
Yeah.
I give and I receive, and I care about them as much as they care about me. Why should they care more about me than I care about myself or than I care about them? And you got to be honest with yourself about those kind of questions. And talk about it. You got to be able to talk about it. So that's the essence, I think, of a quality relationship. That's the starting point.
Yep, be reciprocal. It's like
yes,
same way you breathe in and out, you can't take more one another. So it's a balance in it. So yeah, each person has to come in full, I guess, and just be reciprocal over because we each have different unique.
Yeah, unique. I don't think each person has to come in full, but each person has to come in open and willing to give and receive.
Okay.
Because I don't think you ever get there totally. Okay. But the people that I meet now after all these years, they have a lot that they've done, a lot of experience. I have a lot that I have. And now is the time for us to both sit down and share that when we're doing things, I tell you one thing now, everyone can't do this, but one of the best things to be able to do, if you go on a cruise with somebody, woo, you're locked up in that room for a whole week or two, and you really get to know that other person. I mean, you really, really.
So that's what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Hey, don't move in with them. Go on a cruise.
That's right. But here's the thing about that: they pay their way, you pay your way.
Wait, whoa. You don't. All right.
Oh yes.
You said you said 50-50. Is that 50-50 or you just pay your way? Because people are like, no, the guy's supposed to pay.
No.
Let's talk about it.
No.
Let's talk about
because
it.
Because what I was saying with the cruise, so two people meet each other and they kind of like each other, or they think they have something going on with each other. Boy,
no, you skipped the part. You said the guy's supposed to pay a part.
Oh, listen.
That's controversial.
No, listen. So they meet each other and they decide, hey, let's get to know each other. Then what ends up happening, they look and say, well, let's take a cruise or let's go to an all-inclusive. They paid their own way. I haven't known you long enough. Why should I be paying for her way? I don't know her. She doesn't know me because she may be making more money than I'm making. So why can't both of them in that part of the relationship that they're in decide, let's go on the cruise, I'll cover my own expenses, I'll cover yours. And then when we get on the cruise, we get to know each other. We're talking, we're sharing, I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me. And if people don't want to, on the first cruise, live in the same bed, all they do, you're in the same room, all they do, they take that double bed and they split it up and you have two beds in that same room. And then you go to dinner with each other, you go to breakfast with each other, you go to the different islands, you see how people engage and interact with other people. So you could be at your dining room table where they usually put groups of people at your table unless you request just a table for two, and you're talking to other persons. So you see how that individual that you are with engages with you on one-on-ones and with you in the company of other people and in social events. Also, you see whether or not they do the drinking piece. Well, I don't drink. Yeah, but you see them and they just drinking. I don't drink, so I don't pay that money for that alcohol piece. But if someone's doing that, then they need to know that if you're drinking and I'm not drinking, then you pay for the alcohol because I'm not drinking the alcohol. And alcohol is expensive. If you go to dinner and the person is drinking, that's going to probably be a third of what your bill is going to be. So people need to talk about that, whether it's the guy or whether it's the lady, whoever it might be. But those are the kinds of things that people who are coming together, regardless of what your age might be, then do. Now, if one person has higher income level than the other and they know that, then they may say, look, I'll cover it. But that could be the woman today as well as it can be the man. And if they have that and they want to do that, but it shouldn't be expected that because you're the man, you should pay for everything. No, that's not where we are today. That's not what this world is about.
That's how it is right now. Yeah. So
go ahead, bring it.
You heard Dr. White say
yes. So, and I'll say it to the world. I'll say that to the world.
What stage in the relationship?
Well, see, and I think you have to determine that. When we first meet,
I give a minimum like 6 months or like
oh,
maybe
well,
earlier.
6 months. Well, let me say this.
Oh.
Within 6 months, both of you should have a good idea about who that other person is and what they do, and even probably what kind of income that they have, because you see what kind of automobile they drive, you see what kind of apartment they live in, blah, blah, blah. And then when you're getting ready to do it, you pull up the price and you say, okay, what do we want to do? You call Frank, hey, Frank, we want to go on a cruise. What's it going to cost? We sit down, we look at that money. And then both of you together say, okay, do we want to do this? Yes. All right, let's see how we're going to do this. I have that money, you don't have the money, but the guy shouldn't be expected, because it's down there, that he has to go find all the money and rent his arm and leg to pay for it. No, it's something that you talk about together and you're honest with. Guys don't run around acting like you the man. I had a very, 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 very good friend
Say
of
again.
mine.
Say again, because that's what's being pushed, the narrative.
Where it's
and like
not.
guys have to do all this.
The guys. Yeah. Now, if the guy is financially able to do that with comfort, then okay, and he wants to do it, okay. But if he's not there financially, he should not even volunteer to do it. He should have enough confidence to say to that lady, I hear you and I would love to, but my income does not allow me, or my budget does not allow me to pay that much money. I can only pay mine, you pay yours. Or I can pay mine and I can give 10% on yours, since your income is different than mine. But that's the conversation but it should not be an expectation that the guy pays the bill.
Is there a book on that? Because that's really the major miscommunication.
I would think that most books on relationships, and my daughter and son-in-law haven't, but most books on relationship will cover that part. I think you can go online and just type in, relationships and the expense of relationships. How should the expenses of a relationship be distributed? Why should the guy pay for when you go to dinner all the time? Well, why can't the young lady do it?
Because I'm thinking, like, the books I read is self-development, mainly.
Right.
Self-development, business, entrepreneurship, sales.
Right.
And the only one, I have a few relationship books, like the 7 Love Languages, but I haven't read the whole thing. I know
that's good. And in the 7 Love Languages, I guarantee you, it does not say the man should be responsible for the dollars.
Oh.
Guarantee you, it doesn't say that.
All these coaches now on social media, that's what they're preaching.
No, well, they're wrong. And tell them, I said they're wrong.
It's going to go viral. I already know it's going to go viral.
It absolutely go viral. If there's a relationship coach out there saying that the man should always pay the bill regardless of what the financial circumstances are, then they are totally and completely wrong, and I would like to see them, and I'd like to talk one-on-one with them.
So to clear up, to close this, like, what is relationship like? All right, the guy's not supposed to do all this, so like, what's a balance? What's a good balance?
See, I think the balance, I can't say what the balance
Just
should
get some ideas, like something, because the information that's going out there is like, it's not what you're saying.
I think the balance, here's how I say the balance should be. The balance is that the two people meet and we sit down and we decide that we value each other's time in relationship. And then from that, we build the relationship. We build the value in each other. We learn. I learn about you. You learn about me. That's how that whole piece of, she's a cutie pie, I like her in. She says he's a handsome guy, la, 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 la. So how are we going to build this relationship? First of all, what do we even want? Do I just want to hit it, hit it? Maybe I hit it real well, so you pay, It depends on how well I can hit it, I mean, it could be those kind of things, So if that's what it is, then say it, But if it's a relationship that you want to grow, then you have to grow it together. You have to develop it together. It's like the two of you are buying a house. You look at the house. You don't say all mine and all yours. I want a man cave. She said, well, I want a woman's dining room, whatever the woman would want. Woman, I don't want to say woman's cave, but whatever. I mean, it's that's what it is. It's a partnership. Just like a business. When you go into a partnership with someone, you have responsibilities that each person has. One person doesn't take on everything and the other person takes on less or nothing. It's not that way. And it should not be an automatic men are paying the bill all the time bull. that's crazy, that's insane. And that kind of relationship is an extremely selfish relationship. And the woman should be just as concerned about that as the man is. They both should be concerned about those things.
Right. Cool.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it has to be something that both parties sit down and talk about, and you build it.
Correct.
And if I respect the
what
lady,
are we building?
And if I respect her and she has a better job than me, and I would tell her up front, your income is significantly higher than mine. I can't compete. I don't want to compete with you. I don't. What do I have? Why do we want this whole thing? Or vice versa.
But it's not even that. Some relationships, like, they're both in the negative.
Well,
so
they're both in the negative. So guess what? They build together.
Okay.
That's what they do. We're both in the negative. You're struggling, and I'm struggling just as hard as you're struggling. And it might be we'll continue to struggle, or it might be if we really value each other, let's come together. That may save us, and we'll have this partnership or this relationship, or you may even want to live in the same home. But even within that, you decide what that should look like. Who's going to pay what? How do we balance this out? That's a partnership. Otherwise, it's going to be junky, and down the road, it's going to get real messy.
Hold on. You talk about self partnership. Now you're talking relationship. Like, are they all intertwined? Like, how I want to give them mix, because like people they're gonna come at you. I'm telling you.
Right. If it's self, here I am. I see this cutie pie. She looking good to me, and I want to hook up with her. Well, we hook up, and maybe let's go to lunch. Okay. Now I don't take her to the most expensive place to go to lunch, because she may say, "Oh, I'm comfortable with X, Y, Z." I said, "Well, no, I can only do Z. Okay. I can't do X and Y." Now she has to determine whether or not that makes sense for her from the beginning. Okay. And then they talk that out and work, because I don't know you. We should be first connecting with each other as people, as human beings.
But social media now, they want pictures. They want to show how they're living good. Like they want to call the positive affirmation.
But most of them are lying. People send pictures that don't even look like them. I saw a picture of a girl, and I knew. I said, "Well, dang, she didn't look like that when I knew her." Her face is air blown, her eyebrows, all that kind. People are lying, and then you meet that person. You say, "Well, dang, you misrepresented yourself." That's a lie right there. That's grounds for saying we do not have a relationship.
We call that catfishing. Yeah, right. Like to catfish online.
And I wouldn't deal with it. I mean, if you don't feel good enough about yourself to represent yourself in an authentic way on camera, then you got to do some work personally as an individual. Because that says, I don't like me. Because if I like me, I'm going to say, this is where I am. Take it or leave it. Because if not, there's going to be a lot of mess. A lot of mess.
Well, that's why relationships are failing. So you guys heard it first.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Work on self. What do you want? Be reciprocal.
Right.
So what else is it?
I think you work on self first. I got to get to know me. If I don't know me, it's going to be hard for me to introduce myself to someone else. Then if we're going to have the relationship, then what we do, we come together and determine what is it about each other that we value, we respect, and we appreciate. And then you have some discussions about that. You talk about that, or you do that through, like right now, there's some kind of fair going on down Ohio State on the campus down there. So you go to one of those big old fairs, and you see how that person acts. You see what they wear. You see all those other kind of things. You see, hey, let's get something to eat. What are they going to order? Should the guy automatically go in his pocket to pay for everything, or should the lady say, "I want my daughter to say no, I'm gonna pay half"? That's what I told my daughter.
So that's what you told her.
Oh yeah.
But what's going on? That I'm talking for online people.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So the guys, like, because the girls, they got the nails, the hair. I'm saying this online. It's not my words.
I know.
They got paid the nail. They have makeup. Like, they're not coming out unless they're going to so and so. Unless the bill is $100 minimum. Like, they got a drink. Like, that's what's online.
Yeah.
So, but the guy's supposed to know.
And the guy needs to be serious and real with himself. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
That's not where I am. I just don't have that kind of income. This is what I do for a living. And I'm looking to meet someone who is authentic, who's real, who really wants to meet a person first. and then decide from that point on what we want to do with this relationship. And we want the relationship to be a healthy relationship. And if otherwise, it's not healthy. And a healthy relationship is not going to make it. It's going to die. It's going to crash. It's going to burn either now or it's going to crash and burn on the cruise. Because I heard some people say, I went on a cruise with them and it was terrible. It was hell. Didn't you know about that before you went on the cruise, right?
That's smart though.
Yeah.
Cruise, a lot of people, they prepay, so you give, make the deposit and then plan for a year. Right. That's great.
Yeah. And two people can sit down and say, let's do this cruise. Let's go down to wherever in the Caribbean somewhere. And I love the Caribbean because when I'm there, I feel good because I know the people aren't looking at me like, we don't want to serve them. I mean, people treat you well. They treat you well.
It's diverse.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And then from there, where we want to go, what we know right here in front of us what the drinks cost, what the drinks alcoholic package costs, what the drink package costs. These are islands that we're going to go to. We're going to hit 5 islands. If we go off in the islands, how much money do we want to spend in each island? Because all of them are going to show you some gold. They're going to show you some diamonds. Then they're going to show you some paintings. The paintings, most of the paintings came from Haiti, man, that they have down there. But you talk about that before you go. And then decide if you want to do it. And while you're doing that, you're getting to know that person's getting to know you. And then, and if I care about someone, I'm not going to try to abuse them or take advantage of them financially.
That's what they're doing.
I'm just not going to do it.
That's the word. You said it. That's what they're doing online. I'm just saying.
Well, but you see, you should always be able to opt not to participate.
You see why I'm in the situation I'm in? I'm slow. Yeah. I'm just doing my production and keep it pushing.
Yeah. But she's out there. There's quite a few of them out there.
Oh, they're out there. Yeah.
So just she'll find you and you'll find her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do people find you? Like part 2, we don't talk about the kids. We talk about just individual now. But like,
you're right. Yeah.
We're not talking about kids.
No.
Stuff like that. Hey.
Yeah. James White Performance Consulting Services. My email is jwhite2 @columbus.rr.com. JWHITE, the number 2 @columbus.rr.com.
All right. Wait for your feedback, your comments.
I'm looking forward to that. I want to hear what you got to say about that.
I didn't think about that. Like, I would cruise one time, but like,
oh man,
just
one of the best ways.
1 year to wait.
Yeah. It's one of the best ways to do it.
Before we close, after we go to cruise, we are compatible. How much time is a timeline for that?
Well, if you go on a cruise and you find out I really, really appreciate this person, and vice versa, you can start to say where you want to take it from there. Do we want this to continue? Or do we want to start talking about maybe engagement, longer, more lasting relationships? And again, if you notice, everything that I said is that we talk about it, we decide it, we make it happen. It's just like a business or a company. The company comes together. People in companies don't make a rash decision without letting other people in the company know what's going on. And the same thing within our relationships, because it is a business. It's a lifelong business. At least that's the plan.
Okay. You heard the business plan. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. All right. Thank you, Dr. White.
Okay, brother. Thank you, man. Always good.
Yes, sir.
Bonus content.
So I'm thinking like, okay, go on a cruise, both working. But is that really helping for the future? It's like, all right, we say we go on a cruise. I guess it is. It's an investment.
And you're investing in each other.
So you plant a seed to see if it grows.
You're investing in each other. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a whole week cruise because they have weekend cruises, Or there could be other ways, There could be just right here you don't have to go out on the water. You can just find a resort somewhere where you go and kind of hang out with that person, for maybe 2 or 3 days. Kind of do things like that.
Hocking Hills, we have.
Yeah, Hocking Hills is really nice. Yeah.
But then I had the food and stuff, all the package. Like, that's crazy. Like, I never thought about it. Because that's a great way to see, like, there's no money issue. There's nothing like you just see, hey, can it work?
Right.
Because when COVID happened, people found out things didn't
work.
So
like, some people had to be in the house with their own families and said, hell, I didn't want to be with you all this time. Yeah. But it's just a way for people to get to better know and understand. I think understand, and appreciate each other. You know, and there's always going to be that thing that gets on your last nerve with them, and vice versa. You know, and you have to say, how do I deal with that? You know, I'm an expressive. My lady is more analytical.
But you definitely said get a performance coach like you did. Yeah, your daughter does that. So
Oh yeah, my daughter and my son-in-law, they do relationship coaching.
How early do you do that?
Oh, just contact them.
Like in the stage, like you start dating. Oh, let me make sure.
Oh, I would say after you know that this is someone that I really want to start to spend more time with. I really value them. Where some of the people I just kind of went to hang out with them. You know, if I didn't see them the next day, didn't hear from them, I'd be okay. But with this person, I just really value them. I appreciate them, and I want to spend more time with them. I want to get to know them better. You know, and so that's just says, this is getting kind of tight. Yeah, no, not toxic. It's getting kind of tight, kind of close. And you start to value it, and you find that when you're not with that person, you miss them. Or when you get home from work, the first thing you want to do, you want to give them a call, say, hey, what's happening? How's your day? What you gonna do? Let's go get a hot dog, you know, and that kind of stuff. You know, and then actually start to say, let's plan. Let's talk about it. Don't just let it evolve. Talk about it and then work it and plan it.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. So part 2 coming
Part
up
two,
soon.
right? Coming
Relationship,
soon.
the family, the whole thing.
Right. Bring it all.